2 years of weather photos and videos, March 2020 to June 2022. Intense lightning and a thunderstorm right here. A time-lapse of clouds going by. Making these is relatively interesting to see the cloud movement. You can even tell how much wind shear there is. There's high-level clouds and low-level clouds up there. Here's an example of what I just said. Wind shear is a difference of direction or speed with height, and as you can see, the lower level clouds are going completely different direction than the higher level clouds. That is what wind shear is. Here's an interesting video of lightning during the daytime. Here's an intense thunderstorm with heavy rain and heavy wind, as you can see, and almost the tree goes to the music unintentionally. This storm, however, was relatively damaging to central Ohio. It was not the derecho that happened this year, June 13th to June 14th. It was actually June 10th, 2020. A long line of thunderstorms went through. I don't think it ended up being a derecho because it didn't move far enough. However, this was certainly an intense squall line that went through much of central Ohio. Here's another cloud time-lapse. This is probably one of the more interesting ones, just because you can see the clouds kind of building on top of each other, filling in the sky. Especially if you pay attention to it. Here's a shelf cloud. This formation goes directly overhead, and then heavy rain and heavy wind comes right after. Here's a relatively weird cloud formation. Here's my first photo I've ever gotten of a lightning strike. I decided to edit the photo and mess around a little bit, and I got a pretty wacky photo out of it. Here's my first photo of a cloud-to-ground lightning strike. It was actually a relatively interesting lightning strike compared to a lot of other cloud-to-ground ones. It kind of had this weird arch to it, and of course, I decided to make a wacky edit of that one too. Here it is. A blah, rainy Ohio day, and of course, I used that as an excuse to make a YouTube video and stay in all day. Here is some distant lightning that happened at night, and as you can see, kind of inside the cumulonimbus cloud, it kind of is brightened by lightning within the cloud. Right before a thunderstorm, it is quite dark right here. It's probably one of the darker times that have been right before a thunderstorm in recent years in my area. And right after that storm, it was actually relatively nice looking an evening. And yeah, as you might imagine, they did make another wacky version of that photo. No thunderstorm, just a random hail shower came out of nowhere in late spring, early summer, kind of forget, close to the size of a pea. Aftermath of the storm at timestamp 2:04, and then here is a couple of photos of lightning. There was a video of this earlier on. And then also there's the aftermath of the thunderstorm at 0:47, which is the storm that had the tree blowing around almost to the music and all that. And it certainly did a lot of tree damage in my area. Some areas had it worse than my neighborhood, but my neighborhood definitely had some level of damage. This did make it onto the news. Several news stations were going up to people's houses and interviewing them because this was a pretty major storm for our area. Again, this was June 10th, 2020. The European model had predicted very, very cold temperatures, and we did in fact have some temperatures down into the negatives. I think we had -2. We had a winter storm as well, with I think about 6 inches total. This was the winter of 2020-2021 in February 2020. And after that, we had just a regular winter day, very, very blah and cloudy. And then about a month later, we had our first actual major thunderstorm of 2021. Right here. The lightning strike almost looked like a Y shape. Why are you taking a picture? Here's a rainbow below some modest clouds, and this was right after a thunder shower. Now, what I'm about to show you is a different thunderstorm, of course. Here's some daytime lightning that I caught on camera and screenshotted from my video. This is how I do it. I take a video of it, try to get a screenshot of it. Then that night, we had a big thunderstorm with lots of lightning. Here's one strike. Here's the second. Very, very bright. And here's the third. Pretty intense as well. Here's the fourth. Oh yeah, and there's a fifth too, by the way. Oh, and there's a sixth. Fifth. Sixth. Yep, there's a seventh and an eighth. Here's a seventh. And yes, there's a ninth. Here's the eighth. Here's the ninth lightning strike. And here's one more. There is one more lightning strike right there. And that is last but not least. And next we're going to another winter storm. That was quite the lightning active storm. I was going pretty insane about that. So there was some snow on the ground. In fact, I think there was like 7 or 8 inches of snow. And I took a video from my yard about that. I'll put a link at the end of the video. And then here's a shelf cloud passing from a hotel. Some of my family members were visiting. I was at their hotel, and there was a storm with a shelf cloud, and then it started raining pretty hard. Wasn't that intense. Bye, thanks for watching. If you want to know more about the weather, please like and subscribe with notification bell on.